Happy New Year, everyone. It's time for my annual video where I thank all the people that are important to me and every one of you guys who helped me get to where I am today. Also, new VTuber model. Like my previous one, this was handcrafted by Cerby. We wanted to spice up the mad scientist model a little bit, and I think Cerby succeeded in that front. Of course, there's probably still a bit of jankiness here and there, especially when it comes to the tracking, but I think Cerby did an amazing job on the redesign of my less inspired dude in a lab coat design. So shout out to Cerby for all the work they've done for the channel. All of Cerby's socials are always linked in the description. I'll start this off with you, the person watching this video right now. Thank you so much for choosing to watch our videos and hanging out with us on stream. It might not seem like a whole lot, but you are the very reason why I'm able to be here today, and that's a fact I don't ever want to forget. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me and my friends. I hope that somewhere, at some point, one of our videos or streams made your day a little bit better. If they haven't, then I apologize. I do feel like a lot of the content we made could have been so much more fun if I was a better entertainer. Regardless of that, it's been something I've actively worked on for the 4 years we've been here on YouTube, so please bear with me a little bit longer. But aside from that, if things aren't so great for you right now, I hope that it gets better soon. And if things are going great for you, then I hope it gets even better. Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. For our patrons and YouTube members, thank you for going out of your way to directly support us. It's only because of you guys that I was able to upgrade my setup and finally put to rest my trusty 1050 Ti. Some of you guys probably still remember the old Warhammer streams with Gorok's pizza feet, and it could claw having cheese sticks sticking out of his nose. I know that there's some of you watching this video who probably want those streams to return, but personally, I'm glad we're past that point. Thank you for helping to make this financially unstable job I have into one where I can help support my family. I'm incredibly lucky to have all of you in our community, and I promise to continue doing my best to make content that you guys can enjoy. Now, on to the friend group. And yes, I do indeed have friends, starting off with the cringe eldritch being himself, Szk'krrj. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hang out very often this year, apart from a few Lethal Company collabs, if I remember correctly. I get it though, life often gets in the way of content creation, plus the fact that we live in completely different time zones, so that really didn't make things easier on us. Regardless though, I'm glad to see that you made a bit of a comeback, and I hope things go well for you, dude. Just remember, if there's anything at all that you need help with, we're right here. Now for our rising star, up-and-coming VTuber, Neko. I hope you're enjoying the VTuber life. It can take a bit of getting used to at first, but you seem to be doing really well for yourself. I think you're a great entertainer, and I genuinely think you'll make it big someday. I also have to apologize for not showing up to your streams. The time zone doesn't really work out for me, and I rarely ever go onto Twitch. I do know that there are some members in my community who love them though, and it always brings a smile to my face knowing that you're having fun with it. That being said, if the going ever gets tough, then please talk to us about it. We've been here for a long time, and experienced a lot of the highs and lows that come with being a VTuber, so if you ever run into any trouble, don't be a stranger. I'd also like to thank you for all that you've done for the channel behind the scenes. And I don't think I ever thank you for this, but a couple years ago, you DM'd me on Twitter to wish me a happy birthday. Heck, I didn't even remember it was my birthday till I read your DM, so thank you for being one of the few people outside my family who remembered it. It might not seem like much, but it was a sweet gesture that I still remember it till today. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel like a horrible friend thinking back on it, because I don't remember anyone's birthday. I promise I'll make it up to you guys somehow in a different way that doesn't involve remembering stuff. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Loremaster of Sotek. He's probably never going to see this, but I loved listening to him talk about Warhammer Fantasy. He's such a chill dude with a wealth of knowledge about Warhammer that I just wish I was more knowledgeable about as well, so that during the streams that I did with him, I could have asked more engaging questions and debated stuff rather than just being a sponge absorbing knowledge during his TED Talk. He's got a lot of great content about Warhammer, so if that's something you're even remotely interested in, definitely check out his channel. Cashew, one half of the Bad Cat channel, and my eternal rival. He might not know that he's my rival, but I certainly do. Someday, I'm gonna beat your ass in Guilty Gear, then I'm gonna do it in Street Fighter, then I'm gonna do it in Tekken, and if I ever meet you in real life, I swear to God I'm gonna give you the biggest hug ever for motivating me to become better at fighting games and become a better streamer. As I said, you definitely don't know any of this, but that's how it is for me. I'm actually quite envious of you, dude. You're so easygoing and charismatic that I oftentimes watch your streams and attempt to emulate a bit of that Cashew friendliness in my own streams. Seeing how hard both you and Nivi work for the channel inspires me to be better, so I guess thank you for being you. Or rather, to summarize, you're pretty high up on my social link spreadsheet. Now for the other half of the Batcat channel, Nivi. This is kind of embarrassing to say, but I think it needs to be said. Nivi, I love your voice. Your voice is incredibly pleasant to listen to, and anybody who says otherwise is a clown who can't appreciate anything nice in this world. Oftentimes, when we're playing a game together, I guess I kind of had these expectations of what kind of topics I think you'll bring up during the stream. But then you'll hit me across the face with an RKO out of nowhere, and I'm left speechless trying to figure out how to respond to the joke you just made. I do think it's this strange quirkiness that makes you so charming, and I appreciate that aspect of you. I think all of your viewers would agree with me on this. To me, the both of you are genuinely entertaining, and I want to be there to support you guys where I can. I'm so incredibly lucky to have stumbled upon your channel back in the day, and to now be able to call you guys my friends. This might not mean a whole lot coming from me, but I'm proud of how much you guys have grown and what you've been able to achieve. I wish nothing but the best for the both of you. Leo, my brother in science. I can't overstate how glad I am that you're not just a figment of my imagination. You're actually a really cool dude that I vibe with, who exists. I'll always be thankful to Kiwi for introducing me to your channel, leading to all the fun moments we've had together. I've got some big projects planned for next year that I want you to be a part of, which we kind of already talked about, but we'll finalize things when the time comes. Aside from that, I love how cozy your streams are. I wish I could be as chill as you, but I guess you're just built different. I'm glad you were able to reach some of the milestones you set for yourself, and once I can, I'll definitely send some of my own contributions your way. I hope that next year you'll reach those monetization milestones, and yeah. Thank you for being a bro. Kaen, welcome back. I'm gonna keep it short and simple, but I'm just really glad to be able to speak with you again. If there's ever anything that you're going through and you need to speak to someone about it, I'm always available. Because, come on, dude. We watched the entire Monogatari series together. That makes us friends for life, so please stick around. It's always better having you here with us than not. Oblivion, thank you for being the most consistent and reliable person in the group. When there's a job that needs getting done, I can rest assured that it will be done when you're the one handling it. And if it won't be, then at least you'll let me know so I can do something about it. Unlike some people in this group. I'm glad you got back into content creation, and I sincerely hope you have fun with it. There are certainly a few things you could optimize when it comes to streams, but I'm sure you're already working on those things, so all I can offer is some words of encouragement. Just keep at it. Eventually, after several small tweaks, you'll hit your stride and things will take off from there. Best of luck to you in your personal life and for your channel. Silver, my main man. Thank you for introducing me to Monster Hunter. We're gonna lose so much time in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm kinda scared, but also very excited. On a more serious note though, you may not have noticed this, but I certainly have. You've become so much more comfortable on stream than before. For someone who never really intended to be a part of this whole thing, you've kind of become a staple of the channel, and my go-to girl in the chair whenever Kiwi isn't there to join me. I'm proud of how much you've grown, and I'm lucky to have you there with me. It's reassuring to know that no matter how many times I might die to an elder dragon, at least you'll be there dying with me. Cerby, our resident fish person. I remember back in the day when you were so scared to stream anything on your own. And now look where we are. It's incredible how much you've grown, and I'm so glad you've even branched out into other things, which I won't mention here, because I know you don't want people advertising it. Let's just say I'm glad you're putting your art skills to use, because your style is very unique and super clean. If I wasn't living on the other side of the world from you, I'd give you a big hug, because that's just how proud of you I am. Thank you for being the dungeon master to our D&D game. We don't get to play very often, but I love every single session that we've done so far, and without you, I'd have never been able to experience what it's like to play a tabletop game with friends. Also, I'm so happy that we were able to finally find a game that we both enjoy playing together. Like, thank goodness for Marvel Rivals existing, cause I genuinely wanted to spend more time with you, but no other game really clicked for the both of us until now. There's a whole bunch of other things I can mention as well, but I'll wrap it up by saying, I just want you to know that none of what we have today would be possible without you, and that's a fact that I will never forget. Finally, Kiwi, the OG partner in crime. Out of all the people I mentioned in today's video, you've known me the longest, and so you know how honest I can be. This is true when it comes to my criticisms, and even doubly so for my praises. Even if this year hasn't been great for you, and certain things didn't go as planned, you're still here with us, doing your thing. I'm glad you become more comfortable with being social and talking with the peeps in the Discord. You've also streamed a lot more on your own channel, which is something the Kiwi I started the channel with would have never done before. Granted, some of these streams were of a dubious quality, but that's just kind of how it is when you're first starting out. I hope that next year things turn out better for you. There's certainly a lot of room to grow, but in many ways that's an exciting opportunity. One that Cerby and I will always be here to support. And that is all the positivity that I have absorbed into my dark soul over the course of the year. But before I end the video, I just wanted to give some advice to new or aspiring content creators who are thinking of starting a channel in 2025. There's a whole lot that I could say, but to get to the meat and potatoes of things, content creation is not a lucrative job, unless if you're literally him. This is something you do if you're super passionate about something and want to share that experience or knowledge with others. Even then, I'd recommend to keep it as a hobby, unless if you're batshit insane like I am. To give you some context, it took us 2 years to get this channel monetized, and technically, it's only until 4 years later where I'm kind of able to start saving up money and paying off debts. Working on a channel full-time for 2 years with no monetary gain is a stupid financial decision, and you should not do it. In hindsight, I'm so glad that I was that stupid idiot who believed in himself a little too much, despite knowing nothing about YouTube or content creation. The journey here was not an easy one though. I'm not saying all this to scare you away from being a content creator, but to prepare you for what is realistically a marathon, not a sprint. To survive this, you must have an intrinsic motivation that has nothing to do with making a quick buck or becoming famous. Granted, it can be about money, it can even be incredibly simple, but it must be something so compelling to you that you'll stick with it regardless of the result. Content creation is not the most difficult job in the world, but it's also not the easiest, or else everybody would be a successful content creator. Because of that, you might find yourself looking for a shortcut or some secret hack to the algorithm. As someone who has watched a lot of these YouTube guru videos, I can say with utmost confidence that while there are some good pieces of info here and there, it's all mostly just to convince you to buy their course. Once you put in the time and effort to grow your channel and start seeing actual results, they'll likely attribute it to their course, so don't buy into the bullshit. It's kind of scummy how there are some people who attempt to sell you this dream of becoming a full-time content creator, when in actuality, all you can do is empower someone to take the actions necessary to potentially make their dream a reality. Be consistent and make videos about the things that you love. Your videos will suck and get no views, but the more you make, the more comfortable you become speaking in front of a camera. The more you're able to express yourself, the easier it is for people who vibe with you to identify that and stick around. So just get to work and make those videos. All the videos that you make are going to be unique to you, because you as an individual are unique. No one else has lived life in your shoes, so make sure to express that in your video. Unless of course if you're running a tutorial channel, then maybe this applies a bit less. I found it helpful to do a bit of introspection and self-evaluation of who I am and what my strengths and weaknesses are. From there, you can start to come up with ideas of how to best utilize these aspects of yourself. For instance, I love learning about new things. I love anime and video games, and I obsess over the new thing that I learned until I know every single thing about it. And so, my channel is mostly about me sharing my experiences of doing lore deep dives into video games. I want you to take note here though, I didn't know all these things about myself until I started making content and attempted to branch into something new. Sometimes you might even learn something about yourself from the comments. I learned that some people enjoy listening to my voice. If that's the case, then what can I do to emphasize this strength of mine? Maybe I can start doing vocal warm-ups before recording. Maybe I should record myself for 5 minutes every morning and attempt to strike up an engaging conversation with myself. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that genuinely helped me become more comfortable on stream. Perhaps I can read more books or write a script and record myself reading it. That way, I can become more articulate when speaking off script in English, which is my second language. These are things you can figure out about yourself and look to improve upon. If you've got it, then use it. You don't need incredible editing. You just need to put in the time to understand how all your tools work and craft a video in the style that you personally enjoy watching. Case in point, I hate over-editing. While it can be humorous sometimes, I'm mostly tired of seeing that kind of stuff and just want to watch a video where someone is being real with me. Hopefully, that part of me is expressed through my videos. Now, before this section becomes way too long, let me wrap things up by saying, don't make videos for the algorithm, make them for people. The algorithm is always evolving, and chasing it is the work of the fool who thinks he can make passive income from YouTube with AI-edited shorts. Making content that resonates with people is how you create a community. Staying consistent and making someone else's day just a little bit better is how you grow that community. So for anyone starting a channel in 2025, I wish nothing but the best for you. Everyone's journey is entirely unique, so it doesn't matter how long it takes you. What does matter is learning from every single mistake that you've made and improving upon yourself every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful 2025.